Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And also, let me tell you something. Make sure you guys have an open mind when it comes to what's happening in that 135-pound division, because it's ridiculous, man. You know, we've been talking about it, man. You guys, let me tell you, let me just show you this, right? Crazy. This is, let me pull this down for you. You see, this is the WBC ratings, okay? Updated as of 26 May. Look who's in the #1 position. They have Lomachenko. He bumped Shakur Stevenson down. How in the world did he bump Shakur Stevenson down? That's my question. If they wanted to make him #2, I still have an issue with that. But if you want to bump him down to maybe 3 or 4, okay. Put him above Frank Martin, you know, maybe. But to bump Shakur Stevenson, man, that's complete madness. And the issue I have with it, right, is because when you come and you look here now, okay, we talked about it yesterday. You see that Lomachenko's the #1 in the WBO. Okay? So the stuff that's going on is just wrong. But I'm going to tell you what this is shaping up. You know, you've seen it happen last year with the rankings with the welterweights. You know, last year when it came to the welterweights, you saw some movements that just didn't make sense to a lot of us. Okay? Because what they were doing last year, it kind of looks like what they're trying to do now. Let me fix this for you, okay? What they did last year with the welterweights, they started making these fights. You know, they were trying to plan Crawford and Rocha, trying to plan Boots Ennis and Villa, trying to plan Thurman and Spence. You had Stanley Eunice and Ortiz. They were looking to make Ugas a big name. It looked like he's going to be Mario Barros. They were trying to see what they were going to do with Rashidi Ellis coming off a loss. They were taking a look at Blair Cobb, seeing what's the move for him. Conor Benn kind of threw a wrench in everybody's program when he got himself in trouble. But they were trying to sort out the next move for all these guys who were championship worthy, right? In case Spence and Crawford dropped the belts and decided to go to 154. So the sanctioning bodies in secret society were out here making moves and having discussions that to us, it wasn't making sense. And the reason it wasn't making sense is because they could only put certain fights in place and plan for it, but they were afraid to pull the trigger on a lot of that. Because at the end of the day, the #1 priority was to make Spence and Crawford. But you see what happened? Everybody remained in the holding pattern. Even Earl Spence stuck to his guns and said, you know what? I'm not going to go fight Thurman. He wouldn't even mention Thurman's name in an interview he did over there with Stephen A. Smith. He just said, I knew I wasn't going to fight the person they were trying to make me fight. So he won't even say Thurman's name. But at the end of the day, he stuck to his guns. Everybody got what they want. I still need to know where the money's coming from, but that's a whole other conversation. So now you look at the 135-pound division. Look at what's happening. Devin Haney is going to have to stick to his guns. What they're trying to do, they're trying to force him and Lomachenko to have a rematch. Just like they were forcing Spence and Crawford to fight. They were trying to run Spence and Crawford out of the 147-pound division. I did videos on that. I said the secret society wants Spence and Crawford out of 147. And the reason they wanted them out is because so much time had been wasted with those two not wanting to sit down and come to terms and agree to fight. And they were like, you know, remember, when those belts aren't being defended, that's money lost for sanctioning bodies. So they were like, okay, it's either they fight or they drop those belts. Because they were putting mandatories on him, man. And Crawford was in a lose-lose position. There's so many people that just don't give Crawford the respect he deserves. It's crazy when I read through some of the comments. But if Crawford coming off of Evanescence, went and fought Rocha. Oh my God. The world would have come to an end for Crawford with boxing fans. Because they just don't want to accept that he's a WBO champ and he has mandatories. So they weren't going to try to hear that. And for Earl Spence, they were starting to look at him like Jamal Charlo. And even Jamal, like, hey, when is he going to fight? He doesn't want to fight at 147. He doesn't want to fight Thurman. He's mandatory. He should drop the belts and go to 154. Quit creating that bottleneck in the welterweight division. He has 3 belts. So people were frustrated with Earl Spence. But at the end of the day, what happened? To me, they were kind of forced to sit down, set aside their stubbornness, and make the fight work, make the fight happen. Now you look at where we're at now. Shakur Stevenson running scared. Because Stevenson, he's young, but he's smart. He sees what's going on. He even said they're going to do what they want. Sanctioning bodies are going to do what they want. The secret society is going to do what they want. Stevenson is like they zap the wind out of him. Like you can see a young man like that, all that talent, right? Just discouraged. Gets himself to the #1 position. Mandatory. Although he just bubbled up to 135 from 130, he still got some work to do, but we all know he can beat probably everybody at 135, right? And especially the elite guys like Haney and Tank, that's a very competitive fight. But we know, really, Shakur Stevenson should be ranked probably at the #1 as the mandatory across the sanctioned body because he could probably whip everybody's butt out there. Aside from Tank and Devin, that's really, those guys need to fight so we can figure out who's the best. But Stevenson doesn't know what to do. Could you imagine seeing him put in the #1 position, getting their hopes up, thinking, okay, now it's time to fight. I finally get my opportunity to fight Devin Haney or fight for this undisputed distinction. For them just to come now, because Loma, everybody wants Loma to become the undisputed champion, and they put Loma ahead of Shakur Stevenson. Now, I need somebody to explain that to me. But what I will say is this, and I'm not coming to the defense of the WBC and the WBO. What I'm saying is, be careful what I'm saying. Shit. Loma's put a lot of work in at 135. But at the end of the day, right is right, wrong is wrong. Okay? In boxing, today, right? I thought this was the era of boxing where having one loss on your record and your career is over. Any other fighter, you get a loss on your record, that's it. Oh, he sucks. He's a duck. He's putting duck on the duck sauce. He's a bum. She's a bum. But that doesn't apply to Lomachenko. Right? People are saying Lomachenko's privileged. What I'm going to tell you is I don't blame Lomachenko. Okay? If Devin Haney was being treated with these special privileges like Lomachenko, he would accept them. Adrian Broner, hey, privileged, opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. He was privileged. He had opportunities to do things that not any other boxer had a chance to do. He accepted, coming off losses. But I'll say this. Broner didn't jump to the front of the line and continue holding any #1 spot and being a mandatory to anybody. He just had a big name. He was a draw. And because of his profile, he kept getting opportunities. Because boxing's a business. That being said, Lomachenko becoming the undisputed champion, right? Devin Haney being the undisputed champion. Which one is bigger business? If Devin Haney continues to hold those belts, or if Lomachenko becomes undisputed? Which story, right? Which fighter's story is going to really take off? Devin Haney's been undisputed. His story's gone nowhere. If anything, his climb to the top of the 135-pound division has fallen on deaf ears. Most people aren't taking into consideration that Devin Haney started boxing as a young man. Dad and him relocated to Las Vegas just so they could continue focusing on boxing. Like, this is something they dedicated themselves to since Devin was a young kid. Went out there, ensured Devin had the best training, and they had a plan. And Devin, at age 23, became the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. But he's not on TV like that. He's not out here being interviewed by Jimmy Fallon. There's these different news outlets and stuff, sports news outlets, they're not really covering him like that and giving him the praise like that. Instead, you're getting a whole lot of negativity. And I will say this, to be fair, if you look at Lomachenko, and when he's on social media, and Devin Haney when he's on social media, Devin Haney's more missed than hit as far as how he's conducting himself, how he's communicating with the people. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of mistakes being made, and that also affects your profile, and it can affect marketability, and it can affect people wanting to even deal with you. Okay? But then there's some things where even if he wasn't doing that, he still probably wouldn't get some opportunities. It is what it is. Because to some people, Devin Haney is just, everything about him is boring because he's not full of drama. And that's a good thing. He doesn't need to be out here being ignorant, being the villain. He can be a good guy, but he needs to make a decision because he seems to be thinking that I have to come out here and shove Lomachenko and get on social media with gold teeth in my mouth and cuss and dance on top of cars and do stupid shit to get people to pay attention. Nah, man. Your skill set speaks for itself. But now we come look at Lomachenko. When he does get on social media, he doesn't get on there that often, but, not many mistakes being made. Look at his story. Devin Haney was an accomplished amateur. Lomachenko, probably the best amateur fighter that ever existed. But I will say this, his dad kept him as an amateur too long. Lomachenko doesn't even have 25 fights. Look at his age. Lomachenko should have like 50 fights right now. But his dad kept him on the amateur circuit, I think 5 years too long, in my opinion. Right? Basically, he was a grown man out there just doing what he wanted to those Olympians. But hey, they were doing everything within the rules, so it is what it is. But that being said, Lomachenko, 2 gold medals, over 400 amateur fights. Second fight gets an opportunity at the title. Lost. Third fight got an opportunity at the title. Fast forward to where we are now. War, losing family, friends, goes out there. Somebody even asked the question, can we prove Lomachenko actually went to fight for Ukraine? And my thing is, you got to understand my background, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to military and guys out here who are saying they're serving their country and stuff like that, I don't question that. That's not for me to do. Okay? I have no reason to believe Lomachenko didn't go out there and take up arms to defend his country. But what I can tell you, what I do believe, is that him and Usyk going out there, knowing that they could get killed, that their fellow countrymen and the Klitschko brothers probably discouraged them and said, you have something going on, going out there, fight for the championship, try to fight for the undisputed distinction, continue with your career. And I think that would have done so much more for Ukraine than for people seeing them out there with the gun and possibly going out there and dying on the battlefield. Coming out here with an undisputed distinction. You got 2 Ukrainians who one had an opportunity, Lomachenko, and may get it again. Now you got Usyk, who's very close to having that opportunity. But nonetheless, Shakur Stevenson, man, it's a bad position for him. He looks like he just doesn't want to say anything because he probably realizes if they want to bump him down to number 4 or 5, that they can. And now instead of Shakur Stevenson getting his opportunity at a guy like Haney or a guy like Davis, I'm telling you what could happen. He could end up fighting damn Pitbull Cruz, which Cruz ducked him at first. They could try to put him on Frank Martin. But what I think is happening is they're trying to set up the 135-pound division to if Devin Haney vacates the belts. Because to me, that's what they're trying to force, is for Devin Haney to rematch Lomachenko, drop the belts, and go to 140. And if they do that, then you got Stevenson and Lomachenko fighting for a vacant belt, the WBC. And that's what I think is happening. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, I think it's unfortunate for Shakur Stevenson, right, to be bumped down to number 2 under Lomachenko. But I think it's an injustice to take Lomachenko, right, and say, hey, we're going to give you another opportunity. First, let's try to run Devin Haney out of the 135-pound division, but we're going to put you in there to fight Shakur Stevenson for a WBC belt. Yo. That is horrible to do that to Lomachenko. Because if Lomachenko struggled the way he did with Devin Haney, makes you wonder how that fight's going to go with him and Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? It really makes you wonder how that fight's going to go. But that being said, let's sit back and see how this plays out. I have my concerns about what's going on. But I just think the moves that these guys are making is wrong. Man, right is right, wrong is wrong. If your effort is greater, your reward should be greater. Right now, Lomachenko, look, let's stop talking about what he did as an amateur. As a professional, let's just be real about it. Okay? We got to stop talking about Lomachenko and what he did as an amateur. This man's 17-3. Let's just stop talking about it right now. All right? That record is not a bad record. But that record is not like Kambosos Jr., who's 20-2. That record is not like Zepeda, who's 28-0. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia is 23-1. Pitbull Cruz is 24-2 and a draw. So Lomachenko 17-3. So if we're going to sit there and try to, based off of their accomplishments as a professional, don't get me wrong, level of opposition, Lomachenko has been fighting at the highest level since he turned pro. And that's because he basically was a pro fighting out there under the amateur circuit, right? But at the end of the day, it's not fair, it's not right. Shakur Stevenson deserves, to me, the opportunity to fight Devin Haney next. But the way it is looking, and you can see with Shakur Stevenson how defeated he looked when he was giving an interview, it's almost like he knows that Devin Haney is going to have to rematch Lomachenko. It's almost like he knows that's the next step in this whole scheme of things, is for Lomachenko to get another opportunity. And he just had to sit on the sideline and fight whoever. And you know what? At least he recognizes that they do what they want. But for me, I just think it's a foul. It really is. But for those of you who maybe thought, hey, there's no such thing as a secret society, Hood Champion just out here talking crazy, making jokes, well, now y'all see what the hell I be talking about. What I'm telling you is real. That whole damn thing about these strength and conditioning coaches giving the cocktails. Look, Clarissa Shields about to fight Hannah Gabriel. Hannah Gabriel just popped for some substance. Speaking of secret society, Lara and Wood. Lara, he knocked Wood out in the last fight. Lara back out there to fight in the UK to rematch Wood. Lara comes out there weighing 129. The commission felt that he was going to lose weight. It was going to be unsafe for him to get down to 128.5. So they stripped him. And Lara's pissed because he's like, I can make 128.5. But they felt that it would be too hard for him to lose that 0.5. 0.5 is going to be that hard for him to lose that 0.5. Right? Not a pound, not 2 pounds. He had 0.5 pounds to drop. And they stripped him. So now Wood gets, and Lara can fight. But Wood is the only one who can win the title. Lara can't win the titles. So this shows you that the secret society does what they want. And now they're trying to spin it as, oh, well, when it comes to Lara, he's going to have a weight advantage. He's going to be dangerous for Wood, but we think Wood can pull it off because that means Lara's going to tire in the later rounds. That's not what's going on. It's a secret society doing what they want, like Shakur Stevenson said, and like I've always said. So Hannah Gabriel out here taking illegal substances, trying to come in there and clip Shields, who's like Lomachenko, 2-time gold medalist, amazing female boxer. It's an amazing boxer. They were going to try to rob Shields. And you got this guy Wood and Lara. They already robbed Lara because they want Wood to be the champion. And with Devin Haney, they're trying to shake this up so they can rob him. They already robbed Shakur Stevenson of his number 1 position. Now they're going to try to rob Haney. And they're going to try to give the damn belts to Lomachenko. Because they do what they want. Boxing is a business. And it is what it is. And it's not fair. That being said, y'all keep cool. More to come. But what I'm telling y'all are facts. I'm not just here. No, what I'm telling you is the real deal. You know what I just showed you. Like I'm not making this stuff up, man. This right here. Remember, this is updated as of 26th May. Okay, Lomachenko is number 1. They bumped Shakur Stevenson down. Lomachenko's ranked number 1 by the WBC. And when you look here, underneath this WBO, okay, Shakur Stevenson, as of 23 May, Lomachenko as of 23 May, is ranked number 1. Oh, he's ranked number 1. Craziness. But that being said, man, y'all keep cool. Shakur Stevenson, at least he knows what he's facing. And when he does get his opportunity, he needs to knock the ball out the park because he's going to have an uphill battle trying to become undisputed at 135 because it's just not easy in the 4-belt era to get opportunities to unify. The reality of the situation, when you have guys who are champions, the sanctioning body should be doing their damnedest to have their champions fight the other champions, and by, we say, within 24-month period, you'll have an undisputed. But that's not how it works. You guys know that. They put these mandatories on the champions, force them to fight the mandatories because that makes money for their organization. Although they say it should take priority going into a unification or undisputed distinction, these guys don't do that. You know that because it's money. It's like having these guys fighting on this platform, going over to fight on another platform, Matchroom Top Rank, PBC Top Rank, whatever the zone. If they have a champion and he loses the belt, well, now that's a lot of the leverage gone. And the larger the fight purse, the more money that platform makes, that promoter makes. You understand? So they don't want to lose those titles because that's money out of their pocket. And it just boils, it's business, it's politics. And when you got the secret society on your side, sky's the limit. And we're seeing that right now. And I just think it's horrible. Some people disagree with, I'm going to show you something else, right? Because I'm fair. Some people disagree with this right here. Let me show you this. Y'all see this right here? Look at this ranking. Fury, Water. Some people feel Water shouldn't be ranked number 2. Some people feel Joshua should be ranked number 3 by the ring. But we just got to be honest too now. Look, Water is still ranked number 1 by the WBC. Although he lost. Some people say all 3 fights, but he lost those couple fights to Tyson Fury. But look over here in the WBA, Deontay Wilder's ranked number 1. But my question is, if you don't feel Deontay Wilder should be ranked number 1 in 2 sanctioning bodies, right? Who do you think should be there? Let's just be honest. Who do you think should be above Wilder? And it goes back to what we're talking about Lomachenko. Who do you think should be above him? I think Stevenson should. We have an argument there, but for these sanctioning, for these rack and stacks for the heavyweights, kind of hard to put somebody above Deontay Wilder. Even Anthony Joshua is kind of hard to put him above Wilder. It really should be Usyk, Fury, and Wilder, which is kind of how it is. But at the same time, I get it. Wilder taking a couple of losses, how can he be there? Because other fighters, they don't treat him like that. But that being said, more to come on all this crap. We could talk about this for hours. I don't have that kind of time. Just want to give y'all something to keep y'all up to speed on what's going on. Shakur Stevenson, he's remaining reticent on this because I think he's afraid of messing up his opportunity because he doesn't want to piss off the secret society. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. In the breeze.